I got a little love hack for you, Tony.
Go on, I'm listening.
You know that last half inch where your penis turns into a tree stump?
Yeah.
You save that for the one you love. Everything else, fair game. That's not recording, is it? My girlfriend listens to this.
Oh, shit.
Welcome to another edition of Sweet Nothings Podcast with your hosts, Tony and Freddie.
Nope. I got this, Tony.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to the Sweet Nothing Podcast. I'm Sweet.
And I'm nothing.
You see what I did there? I gotcha. You see what I did there?
You tricky little dog. Hey, guys.
Happy birthday, Tony.
Hey, thank you. Welcome to another episode, Sweet Nothings Podcast with Tony and Freddie. I am Tony.
And I'm Freddie.
How's it going, dude?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. How's your weekend?
Weekend was good. It was like a whole week of weekend, but it was great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Anything fun? Or just kind of did basic stuff?
I went to a wedding, so it was kind of like the week leading up to it, and the weekend was all wedding stuff.
Oh, I too was at a wedding.
That's
out
awesome.
in Canton. Yeah. Weird.
Mine was in Sandusky.
Oh, so we were both in crummy towns.
Yeah, we were both hours from home.
Yeah. I've never been to Canton before. That was my first time.
Really? I've hung out in Canton quite a bit.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's not actually how I pictured it. I mean, it still seems a little boony, and I don't know. We might have just been like in the downtown area. So I mean, it looked nice from what it was.
Yeah. They did a cool thing for a while about like they, like a lot of towns around here, their downtown dried up, and then they rented a lot of spaces to artists and made studios of different types. And then they'd have like First Fridays, like the first Friday of every month, they'd kind of have a festival and have open galleries. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, they had there was like a little like parkish kind of area, and they had things going on when we were there, and they had fireworks, over like the one night, and actually, because they were shooting them off like the roof of like a garage. And there's people that's all right there. There's some of them, they were like, when they'd shoot up, they'd like hit and collide and then turn and then like shoot downwards at these people. It was the craziest fucking thing. Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody actually got hurt, but it was crazy to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sandusky, that's where your wedding was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I only go there for Cedar Point. And what's the water park that's out there?
Is it the one with Cedar Point or the
No.
Kalahari?
Yeah,
Great
Kalahari.
Wolf?
Yeah, I've been there once too.
Yeah, they're kind of filthy with those little resorts. They got that in the Great Wolf Lodge. And
That's right. I've seen billboards for that.
it's like Kalahari Light.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have the money for Kalahari. Let's go to that wolf one.
Yeah.
But my girlfriend was in this wedding, and they're close friends of ours. So it was like leading up to it is kind of chaotic. There was a lot of responsibilities, and then once the responsibilities were over with, it was party time. I had a blast.
That's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
What about this coming weekend? Do you have anything planned?
Oh, this coming weekend. My sister just bought a house, and they have to paint and move in. So I'm helping with that. No fun.
That is not fun at all.
Yeah.
I hate moving. It's the worst.
It really is.
Ugh. Do you have to paint too?
Yeah, it's a new house. They built it, so it's going to be painting.
Okay, so I know if you actually had to be involved in the painting as well.
She kind of lived with us the last year or so, and so we have to also bring stuff from our house there and help them paint at the same time.
Man, that sucks.
It does, but I'm happy for them.
Yeah, that's cool though. They got a house. That's sweet. That's awesome.
So how was the wedding? Do you have a good time? Big party?
Yeah, it was fun. It was really cool. They had the ceremony in like a palace theater, which was really cool.
That's
so
neat.
like they were all up like on the stage, like where you would watch like a Broadway or a play or something, and we were all like in like the regular seats, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And the reception was in a like an art gallery, which was pretty neat too, because they had like all this photography shit like all like along the walls.
That's
and they had like little like knick-knack corners and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. I'm more excited for this weekend though. Let me tell you why. Go on, ask me why. Ask me why I'm excited.
Why are you excited for this weekend, Tony?
Let me tell you, Freddie. I'm going to Nowlands.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Going to
Big
the
Easy.
New Orleans.
Good for
Yeah.
you.
I'm actually excited. I've never been there before.
Nope.
Have you?
Nope.
Yeah, me either.
I'd love to. That's one place I'd really like to go to.
Yeah. And it all kind of happens, like, on accident. Like, we were planning a trip to go originally to Philly. And I don't know if I mentioned that before.
Yeah, that's why I'm...
Yeah, for birthdays. For me and old Nad's birthday. We were going to go to Philadelphia, like, with a bunch of our buddies. And the tickets were, like, $400-something round trip. And we're like, this is fucked. So then we started scouting other places, San Diego, New York City, and it was still pretty expensive.
Yeah.
And then one buddy that was going to go suggested New Orleans and then bailed out. So thanks, James, for that suggestion. We're going to have fun without you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited.
New Orleans was cheaper than anywhere else?
Oh, yeah. It was like $100, like $110 round trip.
Well, what could go wrong? Nothing bad ever happened there.
No. I'm excited, dude. There's so much to figure out. Like, I'm not a big seafood person, but
No?
I'll try anything once.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't smell like shit. You
Yeah,
know,
you-
like there's some like the seafoods, and you're like, ugh, I'm not eating that. I'm
Yeah.
not putting that in my mouth. It's like a dirty vagina.
Their
You can
food, like,
smell it, and
sound-
you're like, not putting that in my mouth.
No?
No. Sorry, what were you saying?
It was, you learned your lesson about dirty vaginas, huh?
Yeah.
And seafood.
Yeah, I was told that the crawdads, once you open everything up, you're supposed to suck the brains out, dude.
Well, it's not. Yeah, the brains are part of it, I think, but it's
I
not
don't know.
just the brains.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I've eaten
That-
it before.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you suck the brains out?
Yeah, I'm sure the brains were part of it. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I don't know. I mean, with those fucking eyeballs and shit staring at me, it just, I don't know. It might weird me out. Who
Fuck
knows?
it, eat the eyeballs too. Don't be afraid. Tony.
Dude, they'll see how much booze I have in me before I
Yeah.
fucking get into sucking the brains out of a crawdad.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know they're famous for like jambalayas and
Yeah.
gumbos and stuff. Never had either one of
Caribbean
those.
influenced food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never had any of that. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like
They're-
my.
that's good stuff.
Yeah, I never had it, and my mom says it's really good. I think she's made stuff before, but I was never like around. I was out somewhere when she made it or whatever. So what I've gathered, it's kind of like a stew.
Yeah. They always make it in like these oversized, huge pots.
Yeah, I've seen that
Yeah.
on TV shows and cartoons and stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen that cartoon jambalaya, dude.
Yeah.
And see, here's the thing: is I don't like beans. So
Beans are a part of it, but they're not a huge part of it.
Okay.
It's not like chili. Like there's not even that. I don't know. Maybe I'm
Chili,
speaking out of school, but
baby duck.
I think you're gonna dig it. It's good.
Okay, no. I mean, I'm gonna probably
How
try
about
everything.
some Zatarans? You have Zatarans
No, I don't know what that is.
from the grocery stores. It's like jambalaya light. It's like rice and a little bit of vegetables in there.
Nice. No, never had that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I think I have seen the box for that.
Their culture intrigues me. I would love to go to New Orleans. And
Yeah.
Their food intrigues me a lot. I'd love to eat there.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this, and I don't know exactly what all we're going to be doing. The only thing I do know for sure is that Sunday night we're going to see David Blaine. Well, everybody except for Nads. But we're going to be. I think this is the tour that he's supposed to be shooting himself in the face.
I wish he would. I can't stand David.
Really?
Blaine. Yeah.
Dude, magic intrigues me, dude.
Yeah.
I do like it, and especially like high-end
Illusions.
quality shit. Yeah, illusions. That's what I
Yeah.
should say. Because I watch his like specials on Netflix and stuff, and I love that shit. So I don't know. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
And so we're leaving. Well, me and Kev are leaving. Who you just met.
Yeah.
We're leaving at our flight's at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then we're coming back Monday night. So it's only like a 2.5 hour flight, so which
Nice.
is pretty sweet, nonstop.
Yeah.
That rules. And I don't think our check-in's till 3 o'clock. So, and then the rest of the dudes won't be there till like tomorrow night, like 7, 8 or something like that. I forget what time their flight's at, but
It can't be a bad time.
no, I'm really excited.
Did you ever see that Foo Fighters special? Like, it's not Foo Fighters, but Dave Grohl, like, and the Foo Fighters, would go into a town, and then they would like learn the music and culture from that town.
Oh, is that
I
something that
forget what
came out
it's
not that
called.
long ago?
Yeah.
I
watched it
did
last
want to
year.
see that. Somebody was telling me about
The
it.
episode from New Orleans is badass. It was really awesome.
Fuck, yeah, I'm trying to think of what the hell it's called. I can't remember.
Yeah, I
Someone
can't
was
remember
telling me
offhand
about that.
either. But I remember that episode. I was like, it was really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, they play with some local artists there, and
It's fucking cool.
yeah, and that, and I get all my travel knowledge from stuff like that and Anthony Bourdain, and it seems like New Orleans is a place I'd like to go.
Yeah, my one buddy Toomey, he watched No Reservations, like the New Orleans one, to find places for us to go and eat.
He's so good. Like,
Yeah.
it's a great show.
And I love Dave Grohl. He's been like my favorite
Yeah.
musician for like the longest time. You know what? Kurt Cobain shooting himself is the best thing that ever happened to Dave Grohl.
It is the best thing that ever happened to Dave Grohl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because fuck Kurt Cobain.
You don't like Kurt Cobain?
No, I'm not a
I
Nirvana
love him.
fan. I liked Nirvana when I was
Yeah.
10, and then I grew up.
Really?
Yeah.
I still, some of it, like if I go like 5 years without hearing it, and now I'm like back. I go, you know, ebb
Okay.
and flow with my love for Nirvana.
Gotcha.
But because, like you, I was 10, it's kind of stuck with me.
Yeah.
And some of it is just like unstoppable. I can't not listen to it.
Like Heart-Shaped Box. I like that song. So that's like, if I'm listening to the radio and that song comes on, that's like the only one that I won't turn off.
I
And I don't know why. It's actually a really cheesy song, but I
don't know, man. I don't like if you go on the deep tracks with Nirvana, I think you would like them again. Like I was just watching the Defiant Ones on HBO.
Okay.
It's Dr. Dre and that other dude, you know, like it's these, you know, record producers in their story, and there's in the first episode there's one scene where Dre's like at his like a vacation house, and he's listening to Nirvana. The song's about a girl, I think.
okay.
And he's just jamming out. He's like, "This is the best rock and roll song ever." And I was like,
Really?
"I agree with you.
Yeah.
That's a really good song."
I remember my babysitter is the one that showed me Nirvana. She, like her and my sister, like she was babysitting me and my sister, and then I just remember being in her car, like going to like the park or whatever, and she always had Nirvana playing. So that's what I first learned about Nirvana,
Yeah.
which seems to be better. And then I had another babysitter around the same time, this like punk rock dude. Mind you, these people that were babysitting was like my mom's friend's daughter. So these were like her like friends she went to college with or whatever. And the one dude, he used to fucking play Sega with me all the time. You know, we playing like Earthworm Jim and shit like that.
Yeah.
But he's showed me music. He showed me KMFDM.
Nice.
He showed me Korn, like their very first
Okay.
album. And Charles Manson Live in Prison acoustic album. I shit you not, dude. Yeah. He had a fucking mohawk and everything.
I had this crazy babysitter too. He was he's from England. My dad's been sick like my whole life. He had a heart transplant and everything.
Mhm.
And one of his nurses at the Cleveland Clinic was this dude from England, and he's a British punk rocker. And
Okay, that's
he had the green mohawk. You know, when I was just a kid,
Mhm.
and he babysat us. He was also a gay dude. I was like, how many things do you want
Gay
to go
British
against
punk
you?
rocker?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
And I remember him and like two of his friends that were girls came over, and like we painted his head with acrylic paint, like the bald part that wasn't the mohawk.
Uh-huh.
He was the raddest dude ever, but he was the same type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, he was just my dad's nurse. My dad and him were talking and shit like that. So
pretty
he
fucking
ended
cool,
up
though.
babysitting us when my dad got out of the hospital, so my mom and dad could go out. You know.
Isn't it weird that our parents let like punk rock dudes babysit us?
Yeah. Like.
I thought I was the only one that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
But I like Nirvana a lot, and I'm not one of the fanboys of them, but
Right.
I certainly still respect them a lot.
You know-
And I like Foo Fighters. That first Foo Fighters album kind of blew my mind.
Oh yeah,
So I was a
told you
little
that I was
too young for Nirvana. I was a little too young for that. But that first Foo Fighters album,
Yeah, the one that's got the gun on it.
oh shit, yeah,
That's a great fucking album.
I always talk about that. Like, I hit the grunge scene like at the right time. Like
Yeah.
when I'm finally old enough to buy my own music.
Yeah, same.
And I remember I forget where I was, but I was on a school bus, and one of my buddies had a Discman, and I was listening to that, and I was like, holy shit. And same with Soundgarden too. Like,
Yeah,
I remember
Soundgarden's great.
hearing that, and it was the first time I ever had like the whole noise canceling headphones.
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
like, oh no, this is a game changer.
Yeah. Dude, they're like, I was never like huge into grunge, but like
Yeah.
Soundgarden, Bush, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a bunch of those bands that I really liked growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I told you
But
before about
really,
me.
you don't like Nirvana though. Is it just because they're like the most mainstream out of them? You think?
No, and that's not it
They're
at all. Just
force-fed.
because they're mainstream doesn't make it me hate them. I'm not
sometimes I
that
hate,
guy.
Sometimes I'm that guy.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes, and I'll admit it. Like I know it's ridiculous sometimes, but
No.
then again, like what's good is good. You know what I mean?
Right. I liked them, you know, like when I was younger, but as I got older, I started finding new music. I think I started getting like punk rock and shit
Yeah.
like that. And I was just like, fuck all this.
Oh.
And then like just hearing it all the time on the radio, just constantly. It's like, you know, the radio plays like the same fucking songs over and over. It's got like, it's AC/DC every other song,
Yeah, I
and
can't
it's
see.
Metallica every other song besides that, you know, like, and AC/DC, Metallica, those bands are great, but it gets fucking tiresome hearing them 40 times in the same day, you know?
You know what it is about them that it's not so much like just that they're like the commercial version of whatever's out. It's more about their fans like can turn you off so much, so you end up
I think
resenting
that's
the
a
band.
big part of it too.
Yeah.
That the Nirvana fans are just fucking
Relentless,
retarded.
retarded. I'm one of those fans sometimes. I think people made Kurt Cobain out to be some sort of angel, and I don't think he was that. But
Yeah.
but like the music sticks with me over the years.
There's 2 documentaries on Kurt Cobain online, and I'm seriously on the edge to watching them. Like, I want to understand more. I want to get
The one
deeper.
that just came out that has like animation, I can't recommend that one enough. And it's like, I think Frances Bean's daughter, Kurt Cobain's daughter,
Okay.
she wanted it made so that she's like introduced to her dad,
Is
and they
she-
tell the real story of him. Like,
Okay.
they tell the real story of like, oh, this is a junkie with a kid. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they don't hold back like he's some sort of
Okay.
godsend. They
That's
tell
cool.
the
I'm
real
into
story.
that. That's what I like. that
And
real
they
shit.
they tell the story in a real awesome way.
All
The
right.
other ones are like conspiracy theories on how he died
See,
and who
that
killed
kind of
him.
intrigues me as well. I know one's called Bleach or something like that.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And I forget what the other one is. I think that one also has like just his face on there, but
It's interesting, but it's not
not
for
great.
somebody who's like, I'm more of a Dave Grohl fan than I am a
Fuck
Kurt
yeah, Dave
Cobain
Grohl.
fan.
Love Dave Grohl.
It's probably not going to be your cup of tea.
Dude, and Dave Grohl's been in so many like sweet bands, like filling in like drum tracks and shit. He had, you know, he even had like Probots, and then you know he drummed the entire Tenacious D Pick of Destiny
Yeah.
soundtrack. You know, he was in the movie. He sang on a track. You know, like he always just feel, you know, Queens of the Stone Age. You know, like Dave
I
Grohl
always
is a
think of
fucking
him-
man, dude.
I always think of him when it's like, how do you age gracefully in the business, you know?
Mhm.
And he's found a way. Like, there's certain guys that just find a way.
Mhm.
I feel that way about, you know, just a select few where it's like they just want to be musicians. It doesn't really matter about
Right.
anything else, you know?
Yeah, he just genuinely seems to just like love music that
Yeah.
much that he just constantly wants to be doing something every day.
Do you
It
think
doesn't matter who it's
about
with.
Kurt Cobain that gets me is like, I think like he could have been that. Like, I really feel like before he died, he wanted to go in a new direction. He wanted to do like a more jazzier, bluesier tune.
Mhm.
Like, he could have been that, but you know, some flames burn too hot, you know, and
Yeah.
I think he's one of those.
Yeah.
You know,
And,
you don't got much time here, so you leave what you can. But but he does. Dave Grohl does it with grace. Like, he does it like,
Yeah, and he always seems to be such a positive dude too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and that's also the better part too. It's like, yeah, he's a great fucking musician, but he's not an asshole. You know,
right.
like he's like doing this event and this and that, or doing stuff like when the one Foo Fighters album came out, it got leaked. You know, so people were like, "Fuck yeah!" and downloading this album, but it was in shitty quality. And Dave Grohl found out, so he made a post and he's like, "Look, I'm gonna upload the album and you guys can download it for free, just so you're listening to good quality and
Yeah.
not some shitty, you know, bootleg copy."
Right.
And so he fucking uploaded the whole album and let everybody download it for free.
Yeah,
Which is, it's not like he needs the money.
I
but
like
that's-
shit like that.
That's fucking cool, you know?
Or like around the same time Radiohead did the, you know, just give us whatever you want for this album.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty.
Yeah,
badass
that's fucking
too.
sweet, dude.
Which is sweet because they know like they got rid of the label, so they're gonna make more money than they would.
Oh
otherwise,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But no, that's funny that you brought that up.
Yeah, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I respect them, and they were like one of the first, people there on the scene for the whole grunge genre. It's just, I think, just as I got older, my taste changed, and I was just like, I'm out the dough.
You know what's weird is there's only 2 years between you and I, and it feels like a decade, like in a lot of ways. And same way with my girlfriend. My girlfriend's only 2 years younger than me, and like there's some things where I'm like, you weren't around for that, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just like, and I'll have to defend Nirvana to her also because I listen occasionally,
Okay.
It's
And
like
she's not a fan
sometimes
either?
it's shower music. Like I have speakers in the bathroom, so
Okay.
I listen to
I need to
them
get
while I'm in
those.
the shower. Oh, it's the best. It's the
Yeah.
only way to shower. And she's, I always have to defend like my love for certain bands over it, and it's
Really?
because like, and there's like a 2 year gap. I feel like I'm the Generation X, or what they call now the Xennials. Have you heard of that?
No.
Okay, Xennials are. So there's Generation X, and then there's Millennials.
Mm-hmm.
I think somebody got mad that they became a
Just
millennial because everybody loves the shit on millennials,
Okay.
right? Somebody got mad, so they made this little sliver of time called, and they gave it a name. And
What is it called again?
Xennial.
Xennial.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's Millennials, Xennials,
Generation X.
and Generation X. And I feel like I'm more Generation X than I am
The Xennial.
Yeah, millennial, which in reality I'd be a mix of both of them, which would be Xennial.
Okay.
And like that's more of like the slacker generation. That's the nihilist. That's the
Right.
whatever it is. And I think like Nirvana, because they're the most mainstream, but a lot of those bands spoke for that generation, the first generation whose parents were divorced, the first generation of like latchkey
Right,
kids.
Yeah.
They rebelled against the crazy 80s and the fake glam rock and heavy metal. Like they were like, oh, here's something legit, you know what I
Right.
mean? And so like those 2 years between me and you and me and my girlfriend, they feel like a decade. Like it's odd to me,
Really?
Yeah,
That is weird to think about.
because it's only 2 years.
Yeah, you know what also is weird is that think about the difference in change between decades. Just for example, like like in the 70s, like all like the hippies and like the tie-dye and
Late
long hair and all that.
Late 70s or late 60s, early 70s.
Right, and that kind of stretches out through like the 70s, and then once you get into the 80s, it
You
started
get
becoming
Reagan,
like, yeah, you start
you
getting
get
like
people bragging about money and wearing, rolling up their blazers. And,
right, and they had fucking the big hair, and like riding around in fucking like DeLoreans and shit like that, And then you get into 90s and then and that's just a completely
90s, like the late 80s, like the response. It's always like a pendulum. It's like the hippies were booted out by the Richie Rich. Like it's cool to brag about your money.
Right, yeah.
Before that, it wasn't cool to brag
Right.
about these millions of dollars you have. So it goes, hippies, millionaires. Then it goes back, like the 90s, where it's like hip hop comes on the scene in the
Right.
late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
So it swings back this way, and then it goes back this way. It's
Yeah.
always like that.
That makes sense. What's really funny think about living during those times and having to change your style. Like I watch old videotapes of like my parents and like my aunts and uncles and shit from like in the 80s. Like I'll see videos from it's like like 88,
Right.
and they have like the big fucking hair, and my dad and uncles are a bunch of Guidos, so like my one uncle's got a fucking belly shirt on.
Well,
and
in their
like
defense, the track jacket never goes out of style. It never goes out of style.
Yeah, well, I mean, they would wear like tank tops, and they had the fucking gold chains and shit. But they would have but my uncle had it was like a belly shirt.
Yeah.
And then he would be wearing like purple shorts.
Yeah.
But that shit was like it was okay. It was the 80s. Everyone thing was like fluorescent colors.
And it went
like,
away and came back.
Yeah. So then then I start watching videos, and it's in like 90, 91, and they're not really sure what the 90s is going to become, so they don't know what to change into, so they're still rocking like rat tails and big hair and shit because they don't know what to do yet. Yeah. It's just funny to think about going from that to that. And I feel like, over the last 15 or so years, let's say even just like from 2000 to now, it just really hasn't. I don't think there's been really too much of a change as far as like style and music and stuff.
You don't think so?
A lot?
That our age difference is great. Because I feel like
I don't think as drastic as what I'm saying as what it was from like 60s to 70s, 70s to 80s, 80s and 90s. Yes, of course it's changed, but I don't think it's been that drastic from 2000 to 2009 and then 2010 to now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you think about it, like that Generation X, Xennial, Millennial, they're kind of like the first generation to. I think they're going to be the first generation to adapt and pretend like they never got old. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, because I'm like that. I'm like, not that I want to keep up with things, but I also don't want to, like our parents just like came of age in a certain style and just rode that style into the sunset,
Right.
And I think like we're kind of like adapting way more to the times because I think we're gonna be we have information, internet, and everything like that that is showing us new norms faster.
Right. I mean that makes sense.
That's a big deal. Or even just cable TV. Like when we were kids, by the time we were kids, a lot of people had like cable TV. And that's a big deal. But before that, it wasn't like you had cable TV, you had local TV before that,
True,
so all you knew was what was going on around you.
Yeah.
Which is also why I think like we're having more of a national idea of things. Like the idea of this region talks this way, Southerners talk this way.
Yeah.
Northerners, people from Chicago talk this way.
Right.
That's going to go away fast because everybody's kind of hearing like the same norm.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And I feel like that.
I mean, that does make sense, but I mean, I think. I don't know. I think it's your surroundings. Yeah. I mean, if you're in Rhode Island or Boston or whatever, your actual surroundings are that accent.
Right.
And I understand what you're saying. Like the norm is like when you're listening to everything that's going out around the entire country or whatever, and news channels, podcasts, radio, videos, whatever the case may be. I understand. Like you think that, I mean, that's going to just eventually all the accents are just kind of just become one through the entire country. Because it's a neat theory.
But your surroundings, I think it's going to take a long time, I think that's going to be eventually it. Because, Northerners think Southerners sound ridiculous.
Yeah.
No matter what you're doing, you could be reading
like
me you can be a Southerner reading me a Chomsky book, and I'm like, this asshole doesn't know what he's talking about. And they know that. So when they start knowing that and they pick up on that second generation, third generation, fourth generation, they're going to be like, oh, we want them to take us seriously. And and how much besides Jeff Foxworthy, who's talking with a real Southern accent that people are listening to?
Right.
You know what I mean? So like they're listening to the same bullshit we're listening to. So I think it's eventually going to dissipate. It'll just take a while. And I feel like the same thing was with fashion. Now we have an eye on fashion and culture, and we like take it all in. When our parents didn't.
That's true. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. Actually, after you breaking it down that way, I mean, yeah, I guess going from generation to generation, and especially with the way that technology is and the way it's going.
Yeah. Like it would. Like the Beach Boys were a big deal because they were this surf band,
right?
And people on the East Coast are like, "What
the fuck are you
I
guys
gotta
doing?
Figure out what surfing is.
Yeah,
how do I find that out? You know what I mean?
True.
It took like so long for people to like catch on.
So nuts to think about.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I feel the same way about like I feel like, and this might be the gap, that 2-year gap that feels like a decade. Is I feel like so much has changed from the late 90s till now when it comes to like fashion and stuff like that.
I think
so much
too.
so that like I think baggy jeans are coming back in.
Like the Jinkos?
I heard like a rumor that they started making Jinkos again and they're super expensive.
Wow.
I would kind of like to leave those behind, but not just baggy jeans, just like jeans that fit.
The juggalos.
Like jeans that fit are going to be coming back in.
Right.
But if you think about it, it was like baggy jeans when I was in high school.
Right.
And then it was like slowly went away to skinny jeans.
Yeah, to like wearing girl jeans.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's to joggers. Joggers are huge.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
rompers.
And you can't forget rompers.
Yeah.
Those guys are out there making it happen.
Oh boy.
But and it's that 20-year thing, like the rule of 20 years, where it's like every 20 years it's going to repeat. So in the 90s, that 70s look was a huge deal. Like a lot of these guys, we got
Right.
Jinkos because it was the
because
90s version
of
of
the 70s.
bell bottoms.
Right.
So like it keeps going like every 20 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so now it's like skinny jeans are going to phase their way out because it's been 20 years from when baggy jeans were in
because
style.
that was like early to like mid 2000s.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's really cool.
That might be where I check out though, and I'm just like, this is my style. I'm gonna ride this forever, like my
Out into the
parents.
sunset.
Yeah.
I hope it ends with rompers. I hope you start wearing rompers, and that's where you end.
Oh, I hope so too. Wouldn't that be great?
That would be great.
You know what? I just reached this age, and I had one style. I figure I'm just gonna wear this forever.
Yeah, I hope you start wearing them once you get like to be like an old Freddie, so that way you're just like, I don't give a fuck what everyone else like how I look.
Yeah.
And then just like this is just comfortable.
This is
it's
me
like
now.
It's like hitting an age where you start wearing muumuus, and you're like, this is my life now. I'm just wearing a
This
muumuu
is
everywhere
who
I go.
I am.
So you're just gonna be romper Freddie. Dude.
Yeah.
Old man romper Freddie.
Yeah. You show up wearing that, and you're just like, I don't ever plan on having sex ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what this is telling me.
Yeah.
Like old ladies that cut their hair short, or like old, middle-aged
Wait, you mean
women
like
that have like.
Can I speak to a manager haircut?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Those ladies.
Yeah, those
Okay.
ladies. They're like, I'm getting this haircut because I don't ever want any man to touch me
Like
ever.
they
again.
have like the really short hair, like it's kind of bobbed a little bit. Yeah.
Like any lady you see in the store buying hair gel, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know what message you're trying to send everybody.
Don't even think about it.
Yeah. I want to get back to this. Over the weekend, when we spent a lot of time in Sandusky, I found a bar that would be Dirty Tony approved.
Oh, go on.
And you've
You have
probably
my
seen it
attention.
before.
I don't know. I don't spend any time in Sandusky.
If you've gone to Cedar Point, you might have seen it.
Okay.
So like the main strip to go to Cedar Point, I think if I would have taken a right, I would have gotten to Cedar Point.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure where I was, but a lot of people have mentioned that they've heard of this place. It's called the Thirsty Pony. And so,
no,
so
I've never heard of that.
You looked at me like I've never heard of that. And I'm all right with not.
Yeah. Are you sure it's not a gay bar?
Well, now that you mention it, Tony, I was well
It's
received.
the Thirsty Tony. Is that what you're trying to get at?
You're
You're like walking like, man, there's a lot of dudes in here.
we went there after what is it? You do the rehearsal dinner,
Right.
and then, everybody was staying at the hotel. We don't have enough money to just buy hotel rooms over and over, so we were planning on going home. But next to the hotel is this place where apparently they have like a splash pad, water zone. They also have
that's my
like
kind of place.
3 bowling alleys, like 3 bowling
Okay.
places. They also have horse betting. You can bet on horses.
Wait, holy fuck. I have been.
Have you?
Okay, so I have been to a place, a restaurant bar, that had, there was a, like,
They sell-
laser, what do you
Yep.
call it?
Laser tag.
Laser tag.
Yeah.
And they had horse betting and shit in there.
That's
I wonder if
this
I've actually
place.
been in there. Is
It
that the same
has
place?
to be this place.
Dude.
And
Okay, so I have been there.
They
But
have
this
like-
was like, fuck, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago,
Yeah.
maybe.
This place, like we go in there after we had a few glasses of wine, and we want to hang out with the bridal party and have fun. But we also have to drive home back to Elyria. That's an hour drive.
Yeah.
So we go into this place. They have a Zoltan machine where it reads you your fortune, like in that movie Big.
Zoltar.
Zoltar, that's it.
Yeah.
My bad.
Zoltan's from Dude, Where's My Car?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Zoltan!
I don't know
Not
that, but
just me? Okay.
so they have that as soon as you walk in, next to like 5 lottery machines. They have horse races on TVs that you could bet on at any time. Keno everywhere.
Right.
It's just like a gamble. It's just like I want to buy it and rename it Freddie's House of Sin because it's a lot of fun. It's also really cheesy because it's kind of got a family vibe, but they didn't do a very good job at that.
No, I think they have the laser tag and the bowling for the kids to go fuck off.
Yeah.
While Daddy, starts betting on some horses
and
blowing all their vacation money, and they get kicked out of the hotel.
It's like a haven for like good weekend dads, like divorced dads.
Oh yeah.
Like that's what it's really for. So Dad can go bet on the horses, and I can go bowl a few frames.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with this place as soon as we walked in, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is my home now."
Yeah. You're like, I'm just gonna live here.
Yeah. I was like, this place is too far away from me.
Yeah.
They sell Fritz's Chicken, which is popular when I lived in Bowling Green. That's popular in the Toledo area.
Okay.
And it's a Toledo area code. It's closer to Toledo than it is Elyria. So
True.
They also have a pizza buffet that goes until 2:30.
In the morning?
At 2:30, we were drunk enough to try the pizza buffet on my second night. I'm still talking about the first night there.
Okay.
They also sold like novelty drinks. Mm-hmm. So I had we have our friends are in town from Hawaii getting married.
Okay.
They brought one of their friends from Hawaii, and he loves A Christmas Story. They just so happen to have a leg that you can fill with whatever you want and buy that leg.
Like the lamp?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
that's
it's like
kind of sweet.
48 ounces.
Did you fill it with beer?
We got it. We were like, what can you fill it with? And they're like, you can fill it with whatever you want.
Like, did they have, like, what about, like, a candy? Like, you go to, like, Mark's or something, and then you could scoop up candy.
Oh, that would be sweet.
Fill up the whole leg with candies.
Like, if they gave you the leg and let you behind the bar.
Yeah, and just let you just fill up all the candy in there?
No, we were like...
All right, so this is for drinks?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's for drinks. And we looked real briefly, and we were like, oh, make it a Mai Tai. He's from Hawaii.
And you said how many ounces?
48 ounces of...
Holy fuck, of Mai Tai?
Yeah.
Dude.
And then
my mom's told me stories about going topless after drinking like 2 of those, which is gross, but hilarious. As you can tell, we're related. Few Mai Tais and tits come out.
Well, we thought it was fitting because, the leg lamp is kind of like the trashy part of Ohio, and the Mai Tai is the trashy part of Hawaii. We give this to him. He's as happy as can be.
Right. They go together like lamb and tuna fish.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the outside bar is hilarious, too. It's great, but, the TV screens some have sporting events, and but most of them are all about the ponies. It's about betting on the ponies.
Mm-hmm. Which I want to do. I've never bet on horses before.
Yeah.
But it's kind of intriguing. I mean, I wouldn't dump a shit ton of money, but I'd be like,
it's fun.
I'm going to put $20 on Old Willie.
Yeah.
Or, here's $50 on Ted Nugent's balls. I don't know what they name horses.
I'm a junkie in general. Like, I have no self-preservation when it comes around anything fun. Like,
Okay.
And so gambling is a tricky thing for me, in which I'm like, I got to be careful here.
Yeah.
I'm way too interested in this.
I'm not the gambling type.
You say that now.
I see, but I go to the casino.
You know how many people have said, I'm not the crystal meth type? And then they found out that they were the crystal meth type.
And then they're obsessed with it.
Yeah. So, so when you put all this together in one white trash building, I was like, this place is for me. The outside bar, I was going to tell you about that. It feels like you're in a cage. And they have church pews, and they have saddles. Like, their bar stools are saddles, like horse saddles.
That's kind of badass. I would like to sit, like, in the saddle position while sitting at the bar.
No matter where you are there, it feels like you... And I'm not a germaphobe by any stretch of the imagination, but wherever you are in there, whatever you touch, you're like, I should probably wash my hands now.
Yeah. Before you piss.
Yeah.
And then again after.
That made the whole weekend. Then, of course, after the wedding, that's where everybody went. And that night, we got a Long Island. Oof. And the first night, our group made enough of a scene that the bartenders the second night recognized us, and we're like, oh, these people are all right,
Mm-hmm.
So then, but this time we got it out of a saxophone. It was a 60-ounce plastic saxophone with a straw that went down.
Dude.
And it was 60 ounces of Long Island iced tea. But they didn't put any...
Fuck.
Usually you put Coca-Cola or whatever.
Yeah, like a little splash.
Yeah, it was crystal clear. Like, we were drinking out of the straw. The straw's clear. And it's just straight alcohol, 60 ounces of it.
Holy fuck.
Alcohol and ice.
Yeah.
So,
Dude, that's a lot of Long Island, dude.
it's a lot of Long Island.
Dude, that's how you get in trouble, dude.
Yeah, we passed
I've
it
been
around.
kicked out of bars for
Yeah.
fucking drinking too many Long Islands.
Yeah, they're tricky.
Yeah, dude.
This was the longest of islands.
That's pretty
But,
sweet, though.
yeah.
I feel like now I'm gonna have to get friends all together and
Yeah.
and we need to make a trip out there
Yeah.
and just fucking. We'll make someone that doesn't
It's
drink.
a lot of
We'll
fun.
find someone that's straight edge so they can be our DD.
That seems like the way to go. And on the way there's like one of those motels that's just like a building with like 6 doors on it.
Yeah.
And it says like
Like the Bates
motel,
Motel.
colored TV, you know? I want to stay there. I'm going to get an Uber to the Thirsty Pony and get an Uber home.
Okay, let's do
and
that.
have the world's best night.
Yes. Yes. All right, let's do that.
Yeah, I'm going to drink a
We're gonna do
saxophone.
that before the summer's over.
Yeah.
All right, I'm into that. That sounds
Hollow
fun.
weekends.
Ooh. Okay. Now we're
See?
talking. Now
we
we're
go in the
talking.
fall.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good time.
Nice.
Because, the sun goes down earlier. It's, not as much fun at Cedar Point. You go to Cedar Point, go to Hollow Weekends. You get
Yeah.
out of there at 7, right to the Thirsty Pony.
Mm-hmm.
Leave your car there.
Yeah.
Take an Uber back to the Homicide Hotel.
Into this.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Just hoping that there's like a picture like up on the wall that the eyeballs move, like following you around.
I'll tell you what, at the
I'm
Thirsty
gonna
Pony,
do that.
there
I'm gonna
might
get
be
the room right next to you so I can do that to you.
at the Thirsty Pony, there might be a picture of this face that says "Don't serve him."
I believe that actually.
No, we had a great time, and the staff there loved us. We got it to go, and they were like, clean out. We got the pizza bar to go.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just all this pizza and macaroni and cheese and stuff that's sitting out on a lamp for like 5 hours.
Ugh,
we filled it up and
Which
took it
probably
home.
tastes fucking terrible. But
Yeah.
when you're wasted, you're
Yeah,
like,
I don't care.
it's just food.
Yeah.
Just scrunch it all down.
Yeah, I had a hard time not eating the styrofoam container they gave us.
Okay, we need to make a plan to shoot
That'd
out
be a
this way,
great
'cause that sounds
time.
fun, dude. I'm into this.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do some horse betting because I've never
Oh
done it
yeah,
before.
yeah.
Sweet. So I did want to bring something up to you. Remember last week's episode where I talked about Mr. Renegade
Yeah.
and how he was commenting on you
My
having
pee
a
stream.
little boy stream?
Yeah.
Pee stream. Well, turns out he heard, and then he actually left another comment. So I wanted to bring this to you.
Good.
Okay, so I'm gonna read this off here.
Meanwhile, this is our only fan.
Yeah,
We gotta
this
keep-
is our
We gotta hold him close, that Tiny Dancer.
Right. Yeah. He's our number one fan.
Uh-huh.
He's our super fanboy. So Mr. Renegade, ETWN, writes, "Hey guys, love the podcast. The new intro is great. The comment was because you told us to roast you in previous podcasts. See, we did talk about that, and
That's
that's
true.
why he did it. So
Good
good
work.
job. Yeah, Mr. Renegade. But now here's where it all turns.
Okay.
Now he's taking a stab at me.
All right.
Says Tony sounds like his mom was really right when she found the thong, and he's been in denial all these years.
He's
Okay.
calling you a gay man.
Yeah. So he thinks I'm, still waiting to come out of the closet, apparently.
So he's not all wrong.
Well, I mean, I don't kiss and tell. You're going to have to wait and see. 2018. But then he proceeded to go on and saying, keep up the good work. The podcast has me laughing all day at work. The ETWN is for E-Town, Lyria.
Oh.
So he's in your neck of the woods. So
Hell
that's
yeah.
that
What's up,
Mr.
Lyria?
Renegade E-Town.
Mr. Renegade, just like everybody in Illyria.
Mhm.
We sling big dicks out in Illyria.
You would know.
I know.
You know all the big dicks.
I know 'em all. And deep vaginas.
Oh, the deepest. The deepest of the deep. I also wanted to make note that there was another comment left about when we were talking about your pee stream.
Uh-huh.
Now, Jeremy Antio wrote in saying, "Hey guys, I had to piss in the stall. The guy next to me had a glorious pee stream. Sounded like a liquid jackhammer. Thanks to you guys, I felt insecure. Should have waited for the urinal."
Huh. So
So-
so let me get this right. He's peeing in a stall.
Yeah, so he went into the stall, and
And
there
the
was
guy in the urinal has a loud pee stream.
Well, I think there was a guy in the next
Oh,
stall over
okay.
that was also peeing in a
Yeah.
stall, but he had a mediocre stream, and the guy next to him was like horse pissing.
Ah.
So he was having like a fucking, like the Super Soaker backpacks?
Yeah.
Where you like pull like the hose and you see it? I think that's how the guy was pissing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so, and so he said it sounded like a jackhammer. So this guy's doing like, this guy's probably
powerful.
pushing his piss out.
He's probably emptying a closet, like a bag, like that piss bag.
Oh, yeah.
He's just squeezing like a Capri Sun. When your buddy's all nervous about it.
Yeah. So apparently Jeremy was also self-conscious about his stream. I think he probably thought that he had a decent stream, maybe. Mm-hmm. But then you have
He was
Jackhammer
worried
Piss McGee.
he had a little boy stream like old Freddie Miller.
Right. Yeah.
No.
So then he said that we made him feel insecure.
Oh,
because
don't
we talked
feel
about
insecure.
it.
Yeah.
Be proud of that pee stream, old boy.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Give it hell. Grab a hold of that joker.
Yeah, so I wanted to bring those up. You guys, leave us more comments. This is fun for us.
Absolutely.
Send us emails, and we'll talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
This is great. This is fun for us. Like, I love getting comments like this, especially
Absolutely.
going this pee stream. This is funny.
Yeah.
And Mr. Renegade, he's on the ball. And Mr. Jeremy Antio
I'm glad he responded. That means he listened, and
yeah,
that's awesome.
He's keeping up with the times here with
Yeah.
us. Yeah. So I just wanted to bring that up. Thought we should talk about that a little bit. That was fun. So anybody else, throw comments in there.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
You can say whatever you want about us.
Yeah, we give zero shits. We'll talk about it.
You can talk bad about. Don't think for a second that I like me. I'm just stuck being me all the time. I hate myself.
I love me, but I think it's hilarious when people talk shit. So
Absolutely.
It's funny to me.
Dude,
like, legitimately funny.
That brings up another point. In our last podcast, we talked about wrestling and how I was never a wrestling fan, like WWE, WWF.
Right.
I was never a fan because I was never really exposed to it. But what's going on now with the Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather fight is wrestling-esque, and I'm in love with it. I can't look it up enough. Have you heard anything about this?
No.
So they're on their press.
You mentioned the fight last week, but
So they're going like city to city doing press for this fight, and it's like how people describe what they like about wrestling to me, where it's just like a bunch of theatrics and shit talking, and then like their exchange. We are in the theatrics and shit talking part of this boxing match, and if there's one thing I like, it's shit talking, and Conor McGregor is doing it in a big bad way.
Yeah.
And so they've gone to two places so far. The most recent one was Montreal, which was either yesterday or the day before, and then today it's in Brooklyn, and I'm on the edge of my seat. Like, I can't wait. It's also like what I don't like about it. It's what I used to not like about it, is all the shit talking that means nothing. But Conor McGregor is doing it with such art and grace that I'm like, I can't wait to see him more. And they're both hateable people. I don't like either one of these guys.
Okay.
That's why I like this fight, is because it's I don't like either of them. I don't care who wins.
Okay. Are you planning on watching the actual fight though?
I can't not, because I like,
because you're already invested now.
Watching
all the shit talking and stuff.
And like any big fight, I kind of watch. I watch all the UFCs, and I watch big boxing matches, and I love boxing, but it's I see it going away to MMA.
Right.
But
do you have one that you prefer to win over the other?
Well, no. I like everybody else that's talking about it right now. I feel like Conor's gonna lose. Okay. It's just boxing, and he's an MMA fighter. Right. It's just boxing. I think it's a money grab on both of them. But Conor is doing it, and he's gonna lose in the ring, but he's winning on every stage he's gonna be on now.
Okay.
It's hilarious. But I guess Floyd Mayweather has like 15 domestic violence and battery. Seems like any girl he's around, he punches. So I guess just with that, I want McGregor to win, but I really don't care. Yeah. I'll put money on McGregor because the odds of him winning are so good. Like I think right now, at one point it was like, you bet $100, you get $1,400 if he wins. That's a lot of money. So yeah, you might lose $100, but on the off chance that he does win, you can walk away with a lot. I think today I looked, and he was like plus 750. So it's still like a good bet if Conor does win. If there's some sort of weird thing that Conor wins,
right,
then you walk away with a pocket full of money, which is great. But these shit talking.
Is the other dude's Mayweather?
Yeah,
and he's got more experience and shit too, right? He's been on for a while,
yeah,
right?
pound for pound, the best boxer.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, I don't really follow, but I've had a lot of my friends. I'm hearing them talk about him.
Just watch the highlights from the press conference.
Okay,
this dude comes out, and it's also funny. It's Mayweather prides himself on making a whole lot of money. He's the money team is his gimmick.
I think someone was just talking about him recently, and he's got some sort of gimmick that he's been trying to do recently. Okay,
I think I talked about it. I might have been the one.
Oh,
he's like,
last week
this is a mink carpet in my private airplane, and then it turns out like he's got tax problems. Like he might be taking this fight just because he owes the IRS a bunch of money.
And he needs to make up for it.
Yeah. And Conor McGregor, like, he also shows up bringing an entourage of guys and his whole family, and Conor McGregor is just roasting all of them. These last two, the first one was really awkward. This one in Toronto, he just like, it was a roast. He just roasted him. Mm-hmm. He had the crowd chanting, "Fuck the Mayweathers."
Whoa.
Yeah. And he had, he's just talking shit. He went around and he's like, "You're a bitch" to, Conor. He went over to the Showtime. I guess it's going to be at Showtime. Or, I think it's Showtime or Cinemax, I forget. Okay. And he went over to that guy and he was like, "You're a bitch." He said that to that guy's face.
That guy has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah. He's yelling at his kids and shit like that. He's yelling at his dad. His dad
fucking
showed
mental
up.
breakdown in
it's
front of all these
fucking.
people.
And this is what he does best. This is what sells pay-per-views. This is what sells tickets,
Gotcha.
But he's out there and he's just, and Mayweather's just taking it like a bitch. This last one. Yeah, and he wore a suit, the pinstripes, you probably saw on Facebook, but the pinstripes on his suit said, "Fuck you."
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, and he's wearing like a suit and he's showing up looking good.
Yeah.
And Mayweather comes out in like a sweatpants. He's like, You're in a tracksuit. He's like, "You're a 40-year-old man dressed like one." And everybody makes fun of Mayweather because he can't read.
Oh,
he's a dumb guy. Like, there's a thing a while ago, 50 Cent was like, I'll donate $100,000 right now if you just read one page of a book. Just prove to us that you could read.
Oh, man.
And McGregor's rubbing that in his face.
Oh, dude.
It's like everything that people talk about boxing that I thought, or wrestling that I thought I hated, happening, and I'm loving it.
Well, do you know when the actual fight is?
I think it's August 26th.
Okay, well, so there's still plenty of time for more goofy shit to happen.
They're doing this like every night.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, tonight they're in Brooklyn, and like, hopefully by the time I get home from hanging out with you, there's highlights from it.
I'm sure there probably will be.
It's that insane.
That's sweet. You're going to have to keep me posted on what's going on.
Yeah,
it's
just straight. It's awesome shit talk.
Yeah, and I know there's always a bunch of bars around here that usually play the fight. So, so if you're like, hey, I'm going to come out and watch the fight, I'll meet up with you somewhere.
I think it's going to be $90,
Well, but I'm saying, but the bars, usually they pay for it, so they get customers to come in and watch the fight. Because my buddy Disaster, he usually does the same thing. Mm-hmm. He's usually like, "Hey, so and so's fighting tonight." Nathan does the same thing too, Asian Nathan.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, so and so's fighting. Let's go to the bar and watch it." And I mean, I don't follow, but I'm like, I'm into drinking and watching people fuck each other up. Right. So sure, I'm in. So when it comes down to that, if you want to come out this way and watch the fight, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure those two dummies will be in on it too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can't wait. It's turning into a spectacle. Now, what's going to happen is it's probably going to be a bummer of a fight. Mm-hmm. Mayweather is a defensive fighter, so he's just going to run around trying not to get hit the entire time, and then he'll probably end up, winning by points against McGregor.
Gotcha.
But leading up to it, anytime you see them in headlines, watch the video because you don't know. Like, he's like, McGregor was like, told him to dance for him. He was like, "Come out here and dance for me."
Oh, boy.
He told him, he's like, "You look like you're a break dancer in that tracksuit. Why don't you come out here and dance?" Like, he's just going on and on. Somebody came, like one of his entourage came and brought him coffee. He's like, "2 sugars, bitch." Like, he's yelling at his entire entourage. It's so much fun to watch.
Just fucking mental breakdown. I'm going to have to take a look into that because that sounds fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I like to see when someone like this just breaking down and just, and then start screaming at the whole crowd like, "Shut up!" quit making fun of me, and just calling everybody a bitch. It's like, you look so dumb right now, dude.
Oh yeah, and the first press conference, Mayweather didn't know what to do. Like, he was just like, oh shit, And then the second one in Toronto, he's trying to win the crowd over, and like, he's not doing a good job of it. And like, MMA is so badass that like, even as a boxer, you can't make fun of anybody in the UFC. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It really, boxing looks like slap fighting after you watch a cage fight.
Right.
Even UFC is like just sometimes too barbaric.
Mm-hmm.
And they've really like throttled it back. But watching this guy from boxing, get his ass handed to him just in shit talking is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're both millionaires. They're both the best at what they do.
Right.
So fuck it.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
I hope it's a double knockout. I hope it's a double knockout and both of them shit their pants in the ring.
Man, that'd be so fucking sweet.
Just watch these two who after this fight they'll be billionaires. Just watching them both fall down stupid and shit and piss themselves would be the best thing that could ever happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that should be that'd be a lot of fun. So when that does actually happen, we'll find somewhere, because I know there's a lot of places around here that'll play the fight. So we'll get together and fucking do that.
If all of our dreams came true,
that would be the best night ever.
If all of our dreams came true, they would play this at the Thirsty Pony.
Yeah.
After
that's where we make our plan to go to watch the fight.
Yeah.
So we can gamble on horses and watch two dudes beat the fuck out of each other. Yeah, and I think the fights are always like on a weekend too, which will be good, because like, man, my birthday yesterday went out.
Not doing good.
Well, I mean, we were at the first bar, so the plan was to do I was like, oh, we'll do 2 bars. And we went to like the first bar, everyone like showed up, and which was awesome, everyone's having a good old time, but just fucking tequila shots just kept getting handed to me. It's like tequila. And I love tequila. It tastes fucking great. Love it. But, and there was, it was actually pretty good as far as like, not yet. Give me like 15, 20 minutes or so, and then like, all right, another more tequila. And I'm not even sure what the time was, but then we're like, okay, let's go down to the next bar, which is closer to home. So I was like, this is a good spot to like end my night, because I still had to work today.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to be out too late. But since I'm going to be out of town this weekend, I wanted to have a time to hang out with my friends and get drunk, So it's really awesome, and anybody that's listening that's, that came out, that's awesome. Thanks for coming to hang out on the birthday. And then by the time I got to the second bar, I did barely remember being there.
Really?
Yeah. I guess, like, I didn't even drink anything. Like, Garrison gave me a water, He realized I was too fucked up, like, nah, you don't need anything.
That's a good dude.
Yeah. And I woke up, and I'm supposed to be at work at 6:30. I got there at 8:30 today.
Hey, what you got there?
Yeah. But, so the couple hours of sleep was sweet. And my boss, I love Joe. Joe work. He didn't give me any shit for it. He gets it. It's my birthday.
Wow, nice.
So Joe's super cool for that. But I mean, solid birthday, we're having the trip this weekend, which is, I'm really excited, because I've been wanting to go to different places all the time. I'm like, past years' birthdays, I wanted to go to different places, and I just couldn't due to scheduling or whatever the case may be. I've had, a few years ago, actually, this is back at the Bunt's house when we were living there. I had a birthday there, and I gave myself a shiner. I had a fucking birthday shiner. And
how does that?
Well, I don't even remember like the process of the actual night of getting hammered. But at some point, people bring me back home, and I'm laying down in my bed, and I start to pass out, but then I hear people going, like, talking around the house. I'm like, hey, I got to get up and hang out with my friends. And I take like 2 steps out of the bed, and I fucking fall right in between my amp and the dresser and fucking face plant my wall.
No.
And my body, my friends, somebody heard the fucking boom sounds, and they came in. They said I was basically in an L shape. So the top half of my body is up against the wall. From my waist down is along the floor. Uh-huh. So I'm fucking bending backwards in this L shape, dude. And I woke up in the morning, and I was like recapping. I went to like rub my eyes. I'm like, ah, fuck, dude. And I had this huge cut you know, and then I fucking had a black eye for like weeks, dude. So birthdays usually don't go so well for me.
Yeah, well, we'll find out this weekend, but so far...
Oh, that's a good call. We do have this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, technically my birthday was yesterday, but this is going to be birthday weekend.
I think New Orleans is the town for you, Tony.
Yeah, this would be a good time.
I don't think that they have like a cutoff time. I don't know for sure.
I don't know. I know you're allowed to drink in the streets.
Yeah, you can go through a drive-thru and order a couple margaritas. Like,
whoa.
Yeah, you can just drink in the streets.
Make our Uber driver take us and fucking
hell yeah
pick up. We go through a drive-thru.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm really excited for this, and this has got to be at least better than last year. I mean, last year I had to help. You know, I had to move my sister out to California. You know, and it was really cool. Like, you're out in San Diego. You know, check out La Jolla Beach, where you're literally like inches from like seals. You know, it's cool as fuck. But again, as I was saying, I fucking hate moving, and I was gonna mention this earlier too. And so I had to like move her shit in, you know, and like her husband's in the military, but he like was
That's
on.
why
like,
they're in San Diego, huh?
Right? Yeah, that's like where he's stationed at, and so like, so he's gone. So it's me, my sister, and her friend, which is also another lady, and my mom. But my mom, you know, so she stayed at the house to babysit my nephew, and she was like unpacking boxes and shit as we were bringing stuff in, because we had to fucking do a whole fucking storage unit and fill up a fucking U-Haul. I'm talking about couches and washers, dryers, all that stuff. So it's me and two like gals they're both smaller than me. And by the end of the night, like, I'm just fucking exhausted. Like, I'm like, I don't even have the strength to try to get this in her house. There's like 20 something stairs to fucking go up, you know? And I was like, I'm exhausted. I need to go to bed. Like, we'll deal with the rest of this tomorrow.
You didn't even drink or anything?
No, fuck no. No, I was just done. Like, as soon as like I showered and laid down, I was out in like 10 minutes. So the next day, I can't believe I've never told you this before. The next day, we're moving stuff, and I was like, okay, all the heavy shit, the couches, washer, dryer, these big dressers, let's just move it into the garage. Let's get all the small stuff up there. We'll deal with that shit later. Well, at some point there, my sister's friend makes a joke, and she's like, we should just fucking rent some Mexicans and have them fucking move this stuff. And I start laughing. I was like, that's really funny. And then as I'm picking up a box, I go, wait, seriously?
No.
Like, can we do that?
No.
You know, I was like, please tell me we can do this, right?
No,
I've seen this in the movies. This is real, right? I've seen it in the movies. Turns out, her stepdad does it all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, shut the fuck up. I was like, call him right now. Call him right now. And so she called him up, and he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, they usually hang out like around like Home Depots and like
I know this. I've
like
been to Los Angeles.
Okay.
And that's what they do. They'll like stand outside of Lowe's and wait for them to pick you up.
Yeah. So like, and I mean, I've never done this before. I'm sure it is a thing, obviously, but I thought this is more just, I mean, you see it in the movies, and it's, you know, it's whatever. So then she's like, yeah. So I'm like, okay. We get everything out of the truck, and we're like, all right, we got to take this back to the U-Haul. And so my sister and her friend are in a separate car. I'm in the U-Haul. I pull in the gas station to get gas. And then literally as we're pulling in to like, it's like, because the U-Haul's like in like a cul-de-sac. As I'm pulling behind them, the whole bunch of Mexican dudes just fucking bum rush their car. And I pull around the corner. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And so I beep. And then they all like moved away from the car, and then my sister like moved in, you know, into the parking lot. So as I get out, they're like, "Hey, these guys are asking about if they need help moving stuff." And I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! We don't even have to go to Home Depot. They're already here waiting for us." Oh my
god,
dude! I shit you not. I feel a little bad, but I needed the help. I was the only guy. I'm just gonna tell you, I did it. I pulled the trigger.
You should. I mean, no, good. Like, good for them. Like, they made money. You know what I mean? You paid them at least, right?
Right. And I. Oh yeah, of course. And then so her stepdad's
no,
like.
I think it's a win-win. Like, it sucks. Like, they're in the position. Maybe they're a little bit exploited, but
right.
Like,
well, I mean, they're probably here illegally.
They went home, of course.
Yeah.
Like, they went home with a pocket full of money.
Exactly.
You know? And that's good.
So I walk over. I was like, "You two stay here." So I walk over there. And as I'm walking onto the street, like 6 dudes run up to me. And I was like, hey, listen. I was like, I need 2 dudes. You know, you're going to be working for, I don't know, 20 minutes. I'll pay you an X amount of money. And one dude's like, yeah, me and this guy. And I go, done. I was like, look, I got to take them back. I'll come back and I'll pick you two up. I'm like, all right, cool. So I was like, don't fucking go anywhere. So we get back to the house.
You didn't go through and like look for the strongest guy. You're too weak.
Actually,
you're too strong.
No, I didn't. No. Actually,
it wasn't like a slave trade.
And I'm gonna get to that. Yeah, no. So we dropped my sister off, and the girl that was with like her friend, she's Latina. So the best part is that she spoke Spanish very well. I mean, I only know a little bit, and I can get by, but
right.
I can't speak that well, you know. But so we go back and we pick the two up, and now one dude's pretty big, like he's like your height, you know, pretty built dude. The other guy is probably about my height and probably about my size, but he's older. So I bring him back there, and I was like, hey, I give them each like a bottle of water. I'm like, hey, listen, you need to move this washer, this dryer, these couches, and like these couple dressers up the stairs. So be here for like 20 minutes, you know, and then I'll get you back, whatever. I'm like, okay. So then they're fucking, and the thing is that sucks, like when you get up these 20 stairs, there's like a little, like a mini wall that's probably like 6 foot from the ground. And because then you like make a left and there's like one step up and that's where it goes into like the living room. So these dudes, because everything's up on that second floor, like how her entire house is set up. So they bring up the fucking washer and the dryer. I'm like, dude, this rules so hard, man. I don't have to do a goddamn thing. None of this heavy lifting for me. And they get like the dresser. And then the guy comes through. He's like, hey, you know, you're paying us this much, and you know we're lifting all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, this is what I told you, man. This is what we agreed to. And I was giving them each. I told them I'd give them each $40 for 20 minutes of work. Come on, fuck off, right? You got a bottle of water.
Yeah,
fuck off.
I would have pushed the Mexicans aside to earn that $40.
Yeah, no shit, dude. I was like, look, I'll give you each $40. And then they're like, oh, okay. And I was like, are you seriously asking me for more money? I was like, you're working for 20. You're fucking.
Yeah.
This is a good
That's
rate.
That's a fair
dude.
amount.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not a piece of shit. I'm not gonna be like, oh, here's $6 for each of you, you know, to split. And so then they're like, okay. So then they start getting to the couch, and the couch is a sectional, and they have like where each end when you pull the flap up and they have the recliners come up, so it's heavy as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, that little dude, this old guy, he doesn't really have the strength. So I'm like, God damn it! And now I have to fucking get in this, and I don't want to.
Yes.
Because literally, once we get up there, you have to lift. He has to lift the couch up on that wall, set it down, run around while I'm still holding it. And this fucking old guy is supposed to be taking one end of the couch while I'm holding the other one at the bottom of the stairs. He's like barely even holding it. I'm like, you motherfucker.
Right.
So it's just me and this other dude. We get the couch over. So they go downstairs, you know, and they're like waiting for us, and like I was like, look, here, I gave them $100. Yeah, it's like, here, I'll give you each. I gave them each an extra $10.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Because you're a good dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. It's because I'm a good guy. I mean, I fucking helped. I should have took off $10. I should have gave them $30 apiece. But I know that they got families to feed.
And you're not you're not being exported anytime soon.
Yeah. Those dudes might not even be in San Diego anymore. They could be back in Mexico, as far as I know.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that's the time. And then actually, I was like, all right, I'll take you back. And they actually had me drop them off at a train station. Like that's the end for their day. And they like,
nice.
You know, I don't know where the hell they were living or whatever. But that's me renting Mexicans.
That's
just like the movies, dude.
So last birthday you rented Mexicans.
Right.
The birthday before that you gave yourself a black eye.
Right. Black eye, not black guy.
No, you didn't give yourself a black guy. It's my birthday. I'm going to treat myself to one of those Negroes. Jesus Christ, Tony.
I wanted to make sure that you're clear and saying black
And the year
guy.
after that, I'm going to graduate 2 Mexicans.
That's right.
Next year, I'm going to get a whole Polish hockey team.
Yeah. You know, so that's
hilarious.
Yeah, you know what? It's probably bad to say, but I was really excited about doing this.
Yeah.
Only because I've seen lots of movies that people do this in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy fuck,
Well,
I'm actually gonna do
like,
this.
If you, that amount of money, like moving company, that's moving company amount of money. You know,
I know.
If it's really only like 20 minutes, even if it's an hour, and you give them both $20 or give them both $40, like they just made $40 in an hour.
Yeah, I know.
You gave them 50.
Yeah,
like that's
being nice.
Yeah,
and I gave them both cold bottles of water. I gave them 2.
Yeah,
I gave them one when they got there, and when they left on their way home, I gave them another bottle.
Yeah,
each.
I think like that was a good day for them, you know, because otherwise they could have stood there and maybe got picked up, and maybe earned $80 that day
or nothing.
Yeah, because I think like that's like it's like a $80 a day is the going rate for a day laborer, you know.
Sure.
That's what I've heard, anyways, and that's what it is here. Like, there's a lot of Mexican construction crews that I've worked with, and that's like what they're making, you know. And I've also seen with Amish, like the Amish. I've worked with a lot of Amish on construction crews, and they're the same thing. Like it's you're $100 a day is what you're making, and you're gonna work your ass off for $100, and you might be a skilled laborer, and you're still only getting $100 a day.
Yeah. Dude,
so you were fair on them. It sounds like human rights have been violated, but I think you were fair. Like, you made the best out of a bad situation.
Right. And don't get me wrong, like, I did feel a little bad.
Yeah.
But I was also really excited. And it probably sounds super racist, but I don't know. It was so nice not have to fucking lift any of that heavy shit. I fucking hate moving.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
It is the worst. I know, like, because there was a stretch, like a lot of people in their early 20s, where you just move every year. Where each year you're just like, I'm going to find a better place.
Yeah.
I'm going to find a better place.
Yeah.
Like, some of the places I lived in were real dumps. So it's like, I think for the same amount of money, I can get a better place. And then it's like a little bit more money, and you get a lot better place.
Right.
And then when we bought the house in Elyria, I remember the first year we didn't move. It was like, so should we start boxing up our stuff? Or how does this work? Mm-hmm. Oh, no, we're staying? Okay, yeah. we'll stay.
Right.
And it's awesome.
Yeah. I lived in that Bunce house for like 7 years,
I know.
Dude. I hate moving. I don't want to go anywhere.
Moving sucks.
And if I didn't fucking move out to California from that house, I probably would still be there.
Yeah, the good thing about moving is like you kind of call your stuff. Like, you go through and you're like, I don't need this anymore. It's a good time to like go through and throw a bunch of junk away, get rid of stuff. And clean, like, your house is never as clean as when you like first move in and set
right,
everything
of course,
up.
Yeah.
But that's the only good part of it. I don't miss it at all. Like, especially here, like, unless you move in like the fall and you got like a dry day, it sucks. It's always in the summer for me. When I'm moving, or you don't want to move in the winter. That's ridiculous.
No, yeah, it sucks in the winter.
Snow. Sucks.
Yeah, you know what's funny is that Gary and we actually lived at the place right next door before here. Yeah, so like we were there, and the guy was actually the owner was selling the place,
and it's laid out just like this.
Oh, it's the exact same. It's fucking identical.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm selling the place, so you guys have like an X amount of time. And we fucking drove up and down the streets looking for places to move to, and couldn't find anything. That all the places that we checked out, nothing was really ever as great as that Bunce house.
Yeah.
Like, that was actually pretty big layout.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, this fucking place has a for rent sign. So we're like, fuck yeah.
Look no further.
Yeah, so we fucking called and we got the place. And it's also upstairs because we were upstairs in the last place. So like, we were actually very, very much debating on like putting a fucking plywood from porch to porch and then moving boxes like on my skateboard back and forth. Because it sucks to be like, grab a box, walk down the stairs, walk up the stairs, set the box down, walk down the stairs, walk up the stairs, grab a box. Like, and just doing that over and over, like, just sweating bullets, dude, just drenched. Sucks.
When I moved in Bowling Green, I've never owned a truck. Well, I did own a truck for a little while, but not during any of the times I was moving. And I used my skateboard for anything that was big, any furniture stuff.
Just pushing it around.
Yeah, and in Bowling Green I did that because it was easy and it worked the same manner. But besides that, I've had like little shitty hatchback cars, and I'm like, everything I own can fit in this little car. It's kind of depressing.
And that was nice, actually, not having to get like a U-Haul.
Yeah.
Or like, I've used like my boss's trucks like in the past.
Yeah.
Using that to move shit too. So it was nice to
It sucks. Yeah.
Yeah. And And we actually were already talking about maybe moving. So we might move actually like in the beginning of September. So that's all. It's in the works. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
But it'll be nice because it's going to be a full house instead of how this is. As a duplex.
Yeah, this place is being fixed up. When I park on a side street because today there were 2 black guys working on your driveway.
Wait, 2 black guys or 2 black guys?
2 black guys were working on your driveway, and my question for you is, where did you pick them up at, and are you paying them a fair wage?
No comment.
I
played the
God
fifth.
damn it, Tony. You did it again. From San Diego to Lakewood.
Keep you on your
Just
toes.
exploiting minorities, you son of a bitch.
And actually, there were Mennonites here last week. Where do you think the garage came from?
Mennonites are Amish Light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Amish Light, dude.
And I've worked with a lot of those too.
L-I-T-E.
Yeah, they bum a lot of cigarettes, those Mennonites. And you could tell, like, the one guy that's going to rat them out for smoking or whatever. When that guy leaves, they're always like, hey, can I get one of those cigarettes? Yeah. Here you go, buddy. Yeah.
Dude, they're fucking great, though. The new garage looks awesome.
Yeah.
And there's fucking electricity in there, too.
Yeah.
So, awesome.
How about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great if they paid taxes and abided by our rules. But, they can spend their times in the woods fucking their cousin. I don't care.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they aren't using any electricity. Well, the Mennonites probably do, right? Just not
I
the
think
Amish.
the Mennonites do. Like, they have
they
weird
drive.
rules.
Yeah.
Like, they have to own black vehicles and stuff like that. They have a lot of weird restrictions that don't make any sense. But we go camping at Pomatuning, right on the border of Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
And the last time we went, it was just us in a cabin and nothing but Amish people forever. To the point where they, like, kind of creeped out my girlfriend.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think, like a chill
And
like
those
gonna start happening?
motherfuckers own nice boats. Like, we show up with kayaks.
They probably built that shit themselves.
We show up with kayaks, and they show up with, like, badass boats. But the funny thing is, they pay, like, some normal dude to come in, hook up their boat, pull it to the ramp so that they can go out on the lake. They fucking save every fish they catch because it's food for them. Like, they're just stocking coolers and freezers,
Right.
And then they pay this guy to, like, hook their boat back up, pull it back to their cabin every day. There's, like, one guy with a truck or a van or whatever that could pull a boat.
Right.
Shows up, and they pay these guys. You could just get a job, like, pulling boats at Pomatuning for Amish guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like a bad gig, though, dude.
No, but I'm like, you sons of bitches, like, can ride in a car. You just can't be the one driving.
Which
you
is
can't
weird.
own it. You can drive a boat because apparently as soon as you get off the road, you're
your
there's
shit's
no
out
rules.
the window. Yeah.
Your God doesn't look at you on a lake.
On the sea. Yeah.
And
On
like
the
you
water.
get away with all this weird shit. You don't pay taxes. You don't participate in in life with us.
Mm-hmm.
But like you also enjoy our roads, and every once in a while a car runs into you or your horse freaks out, and we got to hear about this accident and pretend like we care.
Then we just tie the horse to the hood and take it to the glue factory.
That's it. Yeah.
So it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah. So I don't know how
Sell
I feel
the
about
remaining
them.
pieces of the horse to the fast food restaurants.
Yep. And everybody's okay with them, like Amish people, but nobody's like the majority, especially now the political climate is that we're afraid of Mexicans. We want to build a wall, right?
Yeah.
So what are you so mad at Mexicans? Like they don't pay taxes, they don't, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's what these motherfuckers are doing.
Right.
They're taking our jobs too. They take my construction job because you only got to pay them $80 a day.
Yeah.
So
It's like having a DUI.
It's something to think about.
The Amish.
Let them all run rampant. You know what I mean?
Rumspringa.
Ugh.
I want to meet people that are on Rumspringa. I want to be the guy that takes them out.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Like, here, try this. Try this. Look how much fun this is.
Ugh. Those weird one-eyebrowed assholes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
But wouldn't it be cool to, like, just showing, like, let's say, what are you, 34?
Yep.
Okay, let's say that we get 2 Amish dudes that are out for Rumspringa. Because I think the normal age is, like, 18 or something like that. But let's say these 2 dudes never got to experience their Rumspringa because of whatever, family problems. But now they're like, all right, we're adults. Let's go out and do this. And those two dudes fall on our laps, the same age as us. How fun do you think it would be to take them around and do shit?
It would be fun for the first hour.
First hour?
After that, I'm like, I gotta babysit these assholes.
What about you wouldn't do it for 3 days? A 3 day.
I don't know.
Just a weekend. Like, they showed up Friday.
Oh, they
midday
seem like
Friday.
the worst house guests ever.
Oh, I didn't even think about them having to stay with us.
And because they're like, I bet you like they just find TV, like they find my Netflix and they're like, this is good enough.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do this.
Yeah. But then we actually can't get them to leave.
Yeah.
Because they're addicted to Netflix. They stayed up all night.
Yeah.
We're like, no, let's go do fun stuff. Let's experience out there. And they're like, no, this is fine.
Yeah.
And then they don't ever want to leave.
Yeah.
That would be the worst.
It's kind of like all those weird dudes who like get excited about dating a virgin. It's like, I don't think you understand that.
No.
That sounds like a nightmare, dude.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like that. It feels like that to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's also terrible.
Or like if you like your little brother or something like that comes around and he's like, I just turned 21. I never drank before, and like he wants to get shithoused. It's fun until he does get shithoused.
Yeah. Okay, you make up a good point because they don't know how to handle their booze yet.
Yeah.
So then they're like puking and shit, and you're like,
or
you're ruining
like,
my night.
I'm just gonna bear hug this guy until 2:30. Make sure he doesn't punch anybody.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to jail today.
Okay, this does seem like a shitty idea, but it sounded like a good idea at the time. All right, one night only. If he gets fucking super drunk and fighting, arrested, puking, it's out of your hands. You don't have any responsibility. Are you in?
Yeah, one night, sure. Like I mean, yeah, I guess one night. But
and anything that happens,
way.
it's out of your hands. It's not your responsibility.
Yeah, I mean, I could see where that would be fun. Like it would be fun to like it's like somebody who's not from the United States that comes here, and you're like, look at all these fun things that we could do.
Yeah.
Like I'd like to show you around.
Mm-hmm.
This is what this is. Except with most of with the Amish, it would be like, here's all the illegal stuff you missed out on. This is what weed is like.
Right.
This is beer. This
Here,
is this.
try this cocaine.
Yeah.
Here's some crack. You might like it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This might be your thing. I don't know. What are you, uppers guy, downers guy? I don't know. Goofballs.
No, that's a solid point. Like my cousin, he lives in England, so when he does come and visit, it's always like an X amount of years in between each time. But the last time he was down here,
You're like, this is a handgun. See, you don't have these here. We just got them everywhere. Here, you carry around this for a weekend.
yeah. But no, it's like he wanted me. I mean, which is fine. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, I want to go to the mall. I'm like, the mall? What the fuck?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. He's like, what are you? It's like, what's close? And I was like, well, there's Great Northern. I mean, there's not shit there. So he's like, yeah, let's go there. So I take him there. I don't know. I don't know what to do in a mall anymore, you know? So we go into, like, Spencer's Gifts and, like, Hot Topic. And
Was he excited about it, or did he realize this is a dud?
well, yeah, at first he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, this is okay, I guess, you know, whatever. And then I was like, are you hungry? He's like, yeah. So I introduced him to Charlie's, okay? Those sample guys got him in with that Chicken California, okay? You know what I'm talking about, right? The guy that's out there handing out those little square samples of Charlie's sandwiches. The Chicken California gets you every time. So he's like, yeah, this is good. He always calls me cuz. Yeah, I like this cuz. I was like, all right, let's get some Charlie's. So then you can dress it, you know, with like banana peppers, etc. He got it, dude. Fell in love.
Wow.
He was here for like a week. I had to take him there at least 3 or 4 times. But then he's like, I took him over to Strongsville Mall on like a different day. That place he loved. There's 2 fucking floors. It's huge. Thousands of stores. You know, a giant fucking food court.
He dug it?
Oh yeah, he loved it. Thought it was fucking, I don't know, the cat's dick. I don't know, you know. And of course they got a Charlie's there. More fucking Charlie's,
No
dude.
way.
Oh yeah, more Charlie's. You know, and then he wanted to go to Tower City. I'm like, dude, there is
Was he
nothing.
just looking up malls around here?
Yeah, you know, just looking at places to go shopping and find stuff. And I was like, dude. And I was like, all right, you know what? Fuck this. I was like, I'm gonna take you on the transit. You ever been on a fucking train like this before? So we fucking take the transit down there, and we're walking around. He's like, yo, cuz, this sucks. And I was like, I tried telling you, there isn't a goddamn thing in this fucking place. But now you got to experience it.
Yeah.
So now you can fuck off, you know. But You know, it was just like things like that, but it's like, it's cool at first, you know, like, all right, let me show you this place. Let me show you this place, you know? And the thing is, though, is that, like, a lot of shit's illegal over there. Like, Mountain Dew, a lot of cereal.
The stuff
because
that's killing us?
Yeah. It's because all the sugar content and
Yeah.
shit, you know? So, like, when he was on before he headed down here, and he's like, hey, he sends me a picture of what are those, like, Mountain Dew Kickstarts or whatever? He's like, yo, cuz, you guys have these over there? And I go, yeah. He's like, where can you find them at? And I was like, literally every fucking gas station in this town. He's like, cool. He's like, I'm going to try some of those. So I actually went out and bought one of each flavor for him to get all jacked up on, you know? Man. And then we, like...
You ruined this guy. This was his Rumspringa.
Dude. Oh, yeah. But he, like... And he's a big fan of wrestling. So, like, he sees a 7-Eleven and they have fucking slushies with John Cena cups. And his dick gets hard, you know? So he's got to have these cups, you know? John Cena and The Rock and Undertaker and shit like that. You know, he's collecting all the fucking cups. And then, you know, we go to the grocery store and he's buying fucking Twinkies, Lucky Charms, you know, all this sugar shit. And he's fucking loading his suitcase up with this shit, dude.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He buys a shit ton. He brings like one suitcase.
You should send him a care package.
I should. I really should. You know, and he actually just texted me like a week ago, and he's like, he sends me a picture of this, I don't know what it's called, like Pepsi Fire or something. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, and I was like, he's like, you have these over there?
Like
and I go,
spicy Pepsi.
And I go, no, what the fuck is that? And he's like, it's the new Pepsi. And I was like, I've never heard of it. I mean, I don't drink a lot of pop anyways.
Yeah.
Turns out we actually do have them here, but I guess it's supposed to be like a Pepsi. It's like a Fireball.
Yeah.
Pepsi.
It's like peppery Pepsi.
Yeah, and I'm like, that probably tastes like shit, dude.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. He's like, dude, I need to get some of that. And I was like,
we'll get you one.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pick some up for him and send it off to him.
Yeah.
But he just, I mean, I get it. He doesn't have.
Right.
We have all this crazy shit that he sees on the internet here, and he's like, yo, I need to get in on that. You know, like Mountain Dew Kickstarts, those taste like shit, dude.
Yeah. The bad news for him is that like he doesn't get to drink and eat all the sugary snacks that we have. Mm-hmm. The good news is he won't die of diabetes at 41. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you and I aren't
right.
good, you know.
Yeah.
We should have taken him to Long John Silver's and been like, see, this is our fish and chips. And then he's like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
I miss home.
Yeah, I should have did that. I'll do that next time. Fuck Charlie's. Long John Silver's.
And he's like, this is gross.
Yeah.
I need everything in this box is fried.
Dude, those Hush Puppies give me the farts real bad.
No.
And they smell just like the Hush Puppies.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't believe that for a second.
Oh, dude, I swear to God, dude, I'm gonna roll out there because I know there's one out in Elyria.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking stop there. I'm gonna come and hang out at your place. I'm gonna fucking pick us up some Long John Silver's, dude. I'm gonna eat some Hush Puppies and let them puppies kick in. Fart, dude.
Those Hush Puppies are untouchable. They're good.
They are good.
That's the only thing there I like. It's we do like a fish fry every now and then, like with Amanda's grandma.
Mm-hmm.
I love Amanda's grandma. My girlfriend's grandma. She's the best. And like if I catch fish or whatever, we'll do a fish fry. But we always stop and get Hush Puppies from Long John Silver's on the way.
Those are good.
There's nothing as good as them.
I haven't had Long John Silver's in forever. I think some point, maybe earlier this year, like over the winter, we stopped over at that, at lunch at work.
Yeah,
we went to Long John Silver's.
I haven't had
in fucking years.
My girlfriend still likes it, and I can't. I'm just like, I can't eat this. This is gross.
It's weird.
So she's into it. So I'm like, all right, I'll pick it up for you, and pretend like I'm gonna go there, and then I'm just like, oh, I'll go to Taco Bell. It's right next door. I'll stop there, get me some Taco Bell, get you some Long John Silver's. Mm-hmm. I'm done with this.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's like the McDonald's nuggets. Like you can peel the fucking the breading off or whatever you want to call that. Like you could it's fucking weird.
And like I just never feel good after I eat it. I never feel like that was not like I feel like $1 million bucks after some Taco Bell, but
yeah.
It seems like it's a better option for me than this. And I've watched how they make the fish, like how they take the fish, and it just seems gross. Yeah. I can't do it.
Dude, I haven't had it in forever.
And when I go to Taco Bell, I don't eat much meat from there. If I eat meat, it's on the nachos. I just get some bean burritos. Those are delicious nachos. I don't trust meat from these places.
As you should.
No, that's
I get it.
gross.
Or shouldn't, I should say.
But I do like the idea that your cousin is like, all of this is available to me. Like if you're like 11 years old and somebody gave you a credit card, like what
at a toy store,
or like even just like at a bodega, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You're like, yeah, I need
Whatever
19 honey buns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll buy the entire stock of fucking Mountain Dew Kickstarts you have.
Yeah. And what's Snapple like?
Yeah.
I'll have a Snapple.
Yeah.
I remember I got hired at a convenience store. Was one of my first like legit jobs, and I was 15. I got a. And they were like, all right, this is how stock boys do it. This is the bucket for damaged things. So the vendors, like, you give it back and you say it broke, you know?
Okay.
And they don't get charged for it. So each night, like, you help yourself to a drink and don't pay for it. And we send it back with the vendors.
Okay.
And
I see what you're doing
I was
there.
like 15, and, like, my family wasn't the type where I could be like, hey, I'd like one of these. You know, give me one of these Snapples. That's $2. Like,
yeah.
Like, no, shut up. Go home and drink some water. There's a pitcher of Kool-Aid in the fridge, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, really? And then it wasn't long before I was like, every night I work, I'm going to try one of these. You know what I mean? So I know, like, how that, like, not having access to it and then having access to it, I know that, like, what that feels like.
That reminds me when I used to work at Mark's, like, a long time ago. I was the frozen supervisor. If we had anything like the ice creams and shit, like the boxes were open, obviously we couldn't sell it. So I would keep that in like a milk crate at work. Yeah, for when the vendors would come through. I'm like, hey, take this, credit us or whatever. Fucking ice cream. Dude, I'd go in my freezer and I'd fucking be stocking shit. I'm just in there fucking smashing ice cream sandwiches.
You came home
like
with some to 1575 buns, and you gave us some.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
That was right before we moved.
Yeah, dude, the Pierre's guy. I loved that dude.
Yeah. Now my buddy Christoph, you met him.
Yeah, I remember Christoph.
Now my buddy Chris is a Pierre's guy.
Yeah?
He drives around in the truck.
Fucking ice cream trucks, dude. Yeah, he was like the vendor, so he'd be like, all right, I'll order you this, I'll order you that. Yeah.
That's what we did. Like, so, if they came once a week, it was so transparent that there's 2 shifts, 7 days, there's 14 bottles that just happen to break. Like,
Right, yeah.
I tried one of everything.
Yeah. Dude, I love Snapple Apple. That's seriously the closest thing for drink-wise that actually tastes like biting a real fucking apple.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, apples are delicious, but I really love eating apples only because of the sound it makes when you bite them.
Really?
Is it just me?
That crispy?
Yeah. Just like the sound.
Yeah.
When you fucking bite it, like, I don't know what it is.
My favorite,
love that
I'd like to
fucking
cut
sound.
an apple up like a little kid.
Yeah.
Put it in a baggie, let it get brown all day like you're at school, and then eat it.
Do them regular, dip them in some caramel.
Well, is a peanut butter and jelly
butter's good,
sandwich better, like you make it and eat it, or is it better if you put it in like a baggie, put that in a brown paper bag, and then let a can of pop run into it for about 4 hours? It's better that way. So next time you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, make it. It's all nice. Put it in your hand and just punch it like 8 or 9 times.
Yeah.
And then eat it. It's way better.
Okay, I'll try that. So I'm gonna bring something new to the table here.
Okay.
All right, this is called shower thoughts.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll see how funny, if this is fun for us. Maybe we'll do this every week. Basically, I found on Reddit there's a section called shower thoughts, and people, they actually like go in there and they're just,
There's a lot of porn on Reddit.
Oh well, yeah. There's
Those aren't your shower thoughts?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, this is like, it's people that just, they're like, literally it's what it's like when you're taking a shower and you're just like, something you think of something like, holy fuck, like I never even thought of this before. And so people post that shit, and some of the things you read in there really makes you think. Like some things you're like, wow, that
How
makes
did
a
that
lot
work?
of sense.
Yeah.
But some shit is really goofy. So I was giggling looking at some of these, so I thought I'd bring some of these to the table. I want to get your opinion on it. Maybe we talk about them a little bit. So here we go with the first one, okay? Ready for numero uno?
I am.
That's Spanish.
Can we take
Write
5?
that down.
Can you pause it?
Okay.
I gotta pee so bad.
Seriously?
Yeah, I
Okay.
gotta. This little boy stream's gotta go.
Okay, taking a quick pause. Be right back, guys.
Tony, that urination break. During that, I experienced what your buddy Jeremy would have been intimidated by.
Do you have like horse pee? Like blasting?
Yeah. It was not healthy.
You hit that very well. I couldn't tell that you were like had to pee really bad.
Yeah, I was uncomfortable over here. I was gonna start filling these cans back up right here as you were talking.
You should have. Hilarious. Okay.
I'm a little too worried. These wide mouth cans in my little helmet. I don't need to go home with a cut.
Yeah. Man's gonna be asking what you were up to. What were you doing at Tony's house? Why do you have cuts in your penis?
I was giving him my birthday present.
Okay, so let's break down these shower thoughts here. Okay. So I'm gonna read the first one off to you.
Okay, I can't wait.
I want to get your opinion, and then we'll talk about it.
I just had a yellow shower thought.
All right, so here's the first one. Babies are like turds. Only the people that made them can be proud of them. What do you think about that?
Oh, okay. Babies are like turds. Only the people that... It's hard to agree with, but it's hard to disagree with, because if you showed up at my house with either of them in your hand, might not answer the door.
This is a baby-free and a turd-free palace.
Yeah.
One
comes out your butt and one comes out your front butt.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, I guess it makes sense. I mean, I don't know. I have been proud of some of my poops before. Like, there's the ghost shit where you poop and then you look at the toilet and there's nothing even there.
Right.
It just slipped right down the drain. You know,
And you're proud of that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
There's the poo stance where you poop and then you look at it and it's actually standing straight up and it's bobbing because the tip of it's hanging out of the water a little bit.
Oh, shit, I've never had that happen.
Right. So, and I've pooped a lot of letters, too.
You have?
Oh, yeah, dude. I have pictures probably on this computer behind me of old poops that I would do, somehow pooping out letters and numbers and shit. It's the craziest fucking thing.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so that's strange.
I think that, like, it's hard to be proud of somebody else's kid unless you were a part of them growing up.
True.
So that statement's kind of true. It's okay to, like, it's easy to enjoy the company of your friends and their kids.
Right.
But it's hard to be proud of other people's kids.
Yeah.
I'm proud of that kid.
I mean, you're right. If you're not really in the life.
Hair tussle.
Yeah, you're kind of like, give him a little hair tussle.
Proud of you.
Good job, buddy.
Nice job.
But you don't really give a shit. It's not your kid. Yeah, you're not around him all the time.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you ready for number 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I ready for number 2?
Yeah.
It's just the
poop
the
jokes.
poop puns keep coming.
All right, here we go.
Hey, can we have an episode in which, like, it's just not poop?
No,
it's very poop and pee centric.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
That's just us, dude.
Yeah.
We're just the pee and poop guys.
We are the pee and poop
farts.
guys. And farts.
Yeah. All right, so here's the next one. When Pinocchio becomes a real boy, he either magically acquired a penis, or he had a wooden one that was transformed with all of the rest of them, or went without one. What do you think about that?
Well, he becomes a real boy.
Yeah. But did Geppetto carve a wooden dick on Pinocchio?
I think he just stuck a little dowel rod. Like, you know, you just cut him off a healthy piece of dowel rod, put it on there. And then when he became a real boy, he became a real boy.
Okay, but that's what I'm asking, though. I mean, if Geppetto didn't carve anything, he just gave him like a Ken doll shape, okay? Then he's gonna, when he becomes a real boy, he's still Ken dolled. You know, he doesn't have a dick. Like, it could. That's one scenario.
Well,
or becoming a real boy that
thoughts.
automatically gives him the penis.
Yeah, 2 thoughts. He doesn't have wooden lungs.
Okay.
Right? So then when he becomes a real boy, he has real boy lungs.
Touche. Okay.
Also,
all right. Okay.
We're dealing with a man named Geppetto. Pedo.
Sounds awfully close.
He made that doll a dick.
He definitely made that doll a dick.
He made that doll a little doll dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a big old hog, Pinocchio.
Yeah.
He made it go all the way right to like the end of the shorts.
Or he's a pedo. Maybe he likes little boys' dicks. So
and kept it small. Oh, yeah.
Geppetto.
Okay.
It's very tricky.
Right. Okay. All right. Good one. Okay, let me
Who
see.
fucking thought of that in the shower? Who's thinking about little boy dicks in the shower?
I don't know.
And I'm not saying that, like, whoever came up with that, that's the real person you should be frightened of. Because they're thinking about little boy dicks in the shower.
True.
And even if it's a guy or a girl, pedo either way.
Right. Okay. You ready for numero trace?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you learn that from your Mexican buddies?
Yeah. Their names were...
That was a $40
Jose
Spanish lesson.
Yeah. Their names were Jose and Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I don't... actually, the one guy, he only went by a nickname, but it was something weird.
Was his nickname Rob Your Sister a week later? I hope it was.
No, it was something... I can't remember the fuck it was, but when he told me, I was like, oh, that's weird. Like something weird, like Juice Box. You know?
Yeah.
Like something like that. Some, like, inanimate object. Like, that was his nickname. I don't forget what it is. Okay. Fuck that. All right, we're on to the next one. Are you ready for this? All right. So it says, as a kid, I thought I was supposed to ejaculate the whole time I was having sex.
Yeah.
Like, in a stream, like peeing. And when I first came, I thought there was something terribly wrong with me. What do you feel about that? That's exactly my reaction when I read this. I had to go back and read it again because...
Yeah, it's so believable and hilarious.
Let me read this again. As a kid, I thought I was supposed to ejaculate the whole time I was having sex. In a stream, like peeing. And when I first came, I thought there was something terribly wrong with me.
It's hilarious because you're like, you really thought that? Like, you know, as a kid, like, sex can take as much time as you want it to.
Right. You don't really know how long
You'll
sex takes.
become dehydrated. What are you just gonna come that entire time?
Like, and like, how long does the cum last?
Yeah.
Like, if it's like a pee stream, like, do you think that your cum's gonna last for like 30 seconds for as long as you pee?
Yeah. And then the first time he did, the thing that sucks is like the first time he did it, he was disappointed.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Well, it says that he thought there was something wrong with him. He's like, he does a normal cum, okay?
Yeah.
Which is a few squirts, however many. Well, it's probably a huge load being his first one. But then he's like, oh, no.
That's
like,
it?
These are just squirts. Like, how come it's not going in a full stream?
Yeah.
Then he said he was worried. You know, then what do? You go to a doctor? You you find a friend? You tell your mom?
So
your
sad,
dad?
like that the first time he came, he was just like disappointed.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, I think it was more freaked out than disappointed.
Like the first
he thought he had to
time-
have a cum stream.
and I wonder if this person was old enough to like have the internet available to them to find out how right or wrong they are.
Right.
Because that's what's hilarious to me is like he just went on thinking this.
Yeah.
But like the first time like you come, you're like, holy shit. Like this my life will never be the same again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So but for this guy
it's already
weird.
Like,
holy shit. I'm doing this so wrong.
Yeah. But it feels so good.
Yeah. You're like,
It feels good to be wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, that's a fucking weird thing. Like, how old do you think he was when he had his first cum? I mean, he said when I was a kid, he thought he had a cum stream. And then he has his first ejaculate.
Like, if you think, like, that you're just coming the entire time, like, and you know, like
a fire
there's,
hose.
like, a climax to this. Like, he's probably seen, like, a movie in which there's a climax to it.
Right.
What happens then?
Yeah. Oh, I imagine once he's seen his first porn.
Oh, that's when the solids come out.
Can you imagine if that's actually how he came?
Oh, no.
Like, you had to, like...
It's like a kidney stones.
Dude, you fill up, like, the condom would be, like, overflowing. If you're not using one, it's just a fire hose, like, just spraying everywhere. You'd have to lay on a bed of towels because you have no idea where the fuck it's going to go or when it's going to stop.
Jesus.
Cumstream. That sounds like a terrible
And
idea.
then solids.
That's actually my band name,
So
Cumstream.
you're like, this feels...
Starting a band called Cumstream.
This is great. Oh, no, this is taking a turn for the worse. Oh, no, here come the solids.
Here comes the solids.
Jesus Christ.
Well, those are fun. I'm gonna look for some more. Maybe we'll try again
Shower
next
thoughts?
week. Yeah, shower thoughts. If
Maybe
you guys-
I'd have some shower thoughts if I didn't keep listening to Nirvana in there.
If you guys have some other ideas for some shower thoughts, post them in the comment. We'll talk about them. We'll talk it over.
Yeah.
And see how this goes.
I would love for people to come up with their own.
Yeah. All right. How do you feel about this episode? You ready to give it an ending here?
I'm excited about next week's episode when we get to find out how you got arrested and bailed out in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah. There'll definitely be talks of the New Orleans there. Again, guys, thanks for listening. You can go to our Facebook, facebook.com/SweetNothingsPodcast. You can find us on YouTube, Sweet Nothings Podcast with Freddie and Tony. You probably don't have to type all of that, but I think by the time you get to Sweet Nothings Podcast, it'll probably come up. You can email us, sweetnothingscleveland@gmail.com. Send us whatever the fuck you want. Questions. Maybe we'll try doing like answering a question thing. That'd be kind of fun.
Oh, like an advice show?
Yeah. We'll do one question at the end of the show. Would that be cool?
Yeah.
People that will say this.
You know how you don't feel like you have command of your life? How about you get two people who have no command of their own lives, and then they'll tell you how you should live?
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
That's a great bit. Okay. So send us questions. If you need advice, send us questions. We'll answer one question each episode. Even when we get multiple, we'll do them in the way that they can.
Oh, it would be
episode.
My dream would be that we could do a whole episode that way.
Oh, dude, if we get a stockpile of questions,
that would be great.
We can actually make that a little bit. If we get a shit ton of questions,
yeah,
then we can make that into a bit. All right, I'm not opposed to that. That's good. Of course, subscribe to our YouTube page, like it, share it, tell your mom about it, tell your grandma, tell your friends, tell your children. I don't care if they're only 7. They need to learn the bad words eventually.
Sure.
They need to know about the cum stream, guys. Cum stream is a real thing. I don't know where I'm going with this, dude.
Do you think we were cum stream deniers?
No, absolutely not.
I'm glad we added cum stream to our repertoire of poop, pee, shit,
farts.
Yeah, now cum streams.
Okay. All right. So tune in next week and find out about the girl I hooked up with the webbed feet. Thanks for listening. This is Sweet Nothings Podcast with Tony and Freddie. I am Tony.
I'm Freddie.
Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.